dragon fruit plants that are just begging to go in the ground, and I was pruning them before I planted them, and I picked these two up because they were just absolutely crazy and they had so many cuttings. So we already have this variety actually, but I figured I would take advantage of the good price. We went to a plant sale at the agricultural center just to see what they had, and these were very cheap and there was so many cuttings on there, so I was like, okay, we have to get these. And now we have tons and tons of American Beauty cuttings that we can make plants out of, and I will show you how to do that, but let me first show you my method of the pruning. Okay, so what you want in a dragon fruit, we're gonna grow these up a tree, by the way. You want them to just grow straight up until you're ready for them to branch out. And they can really go as tall as you want them to, but I would recommend maybe about like 5 to 8 feet you let them branch out. So that's what I'm doing here. It was all crazy right here and I cut some off. I will cut this one off in the future, but I just want to let it get a little bigger. That's not a very good cutting. That could definitely just rot out. So yeah, I cut a bunch off down here, and my goal is to just have it be just one piece all the way up. So if anything grows crazy, more than one off of here, basically I'll cut it off. I want something to grow out of here and just keep going up and up the tree until it's about 5 to 8 feet, and then I'll let it branch out. And from there, I'll probably only let it get about 2 or 3 branches to branch out and create flowers from there. And as you can see on this one right here, I just cut something off right here, something off right here. Because same thing for this one, I just want it to be going straight up the tree for a while and send all that energy up the plant one way. Cool, so pruning the dragon fruit plant's pretty simple and straightforward. The next thing I want to do is take you guys over to some cuttings that I've rooted before. I've experimented with some pretty long ones and some pretty short ones, so I kind of just wanted to show you guys what you could get away with if you did have any questions about that. Let's see. Okay, so this is kind of has a lot going on in here. So we threw this cutting in and this cutting in. We put 2 cuttings in this pot. And then this at the top is the new growth. So this was really a pretty long one and a pretty skinny one, and that did just fine. I just poked myself. This I will definitely cut off soon, maybe today, and that's a really good cutting. And then this has some stuff that needs to come off as well, and those will work. They're not like super nice cuttings, but yeah. Okay, so let me show you some other cuttings that I've taken. So this one was really pretty long, and we put it in a small pot. It hasn't grown at all, but it does have roots, so this one will probably be a good plant for us. And then 2 pretty teeny ones we did. So here's one. It's not very good lighting. So here's the original cutting, and then it just made like sometimes it grows and it's not like a different piece of plant like this one. You can see it's like a different piece of the cactus. Sometimes it just gets kind of fatter, but there's no separation. I don't know. Just something I noticed. And then here's another really teeny one that we took, and it totally worked. Once this gets bigger, I will probably cut off this side one and let this one grow so it just grows straight up. But yeah, we've done really small ones and really long ones, and then pretty fat ones too. Like this is a short stumpy one. This hasn't grown at all yet, but I think seems like it's working. So yeah, pretty easy to take to grow dragon fruit from cuttings. So let me go show you how to take the cuttings. So there's just really one thing that's really important. So let me get back into the garage and I'll show you how to do it. Okay, so we have rooted dragon fruit cuttings in pots in the ground We've used sterile potting mixes, like just peat moss and perlite. I think we've even ran out of perlite and just used peat moss where there's like not very good drainage, and that worked. I don't recommend it, but that did work. We've used like garden soil, stuff that has nutrients in it. It's really pretty easy to root dragon fruit. The one thing you cannot forget to do is just wait. just let the cuttings dry out for a couple days, or else they're very prone to rotting. So yeah, just wait a few days to a week, and then you take your cutting and you just barely put it into the soil to where it's not gonna flop over. Don't plant it like up to here, or that it'll probably still rot even though you did dry it out. And then another thing I would recommend doing is pointing whatever way you want, but know which way's up and which way's down. So yeah, pretty simple and straightforward. It is pretty easy to root dragon fruit from cuttings. I've seen some videos on YouTube with slightly different techniques, but I'm sure they all work. The biggest thing is to just let them dry out so they don't rot. So we will make a video in a couple weeks or something letting you guys know how all those cuttings did. We have about 25 American Beauty cuttings in there, so we'll have a lot of plants from that, and we'll probably have some to sell as well. Another really important thing I wanted to touch on is if you're wanting to grow dragon fruits, it is very important to know what variety it is, because most of them are not self-pollinating. Most of them you need a totally different variety to pollinate. American Beauty is really cool because it is self-pollinating and it's a universal pollinator. So you could have American Beauty and other varieties, and it'll pollinate itself and all of your other varieties. So it's definitely a great one to add to the collection. But yeah, if you get one that's self-sterile, you'll need to get a paintbrush and get some pollen from another dragon fruit and go pollinate that flower. So I would definitely recommend American Beauty or one of the other self-pollinating ones for a beginner dragon fruit grower. And thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you have tons of dragon fruits in your future.